Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Honorable the Chief Justice of India, Justice NV Ramana, Honorable Shri Kiran Rijiju, Union Minister for Law and Justice, and the Honorable Judges of the Supreme Court, Honorable Justice Abdul Nazir, Justice Vineet Sharan, Justice M.R. Shah, Honorable Justice B.R. Gawai, Justice Krishna Murari, Justice Rishikesh Roy, Justice Vikram Nath, Justice M.M. Sundaresh, Justice C.T. Ravi Kumar, Justice Bela M. Trivedi, and Justice P.S. Narasimha Reddy. Now I request the Honorable Chairman and Vice Chairman to please escort the Honorable guest on the dais.
Narasimha, not Narasimha Reddy, P.S. Narasimha, Justice.
So Justice P.S. Narasimha. All the Honorable guests are with us. Please, the Chairman and Vice Chairman and members BCI are requested to please escort the Honorable guest on the dais. We also welcome Shri Tushar Mehta, Honorable Solicitor General of India. Okay. Friends, please try to maintain social distance, please. Ladies and gentlemen, felicitating Chief Justice of India, Honorable Justice NV Ramana, is a joyous and momentous occasion for Bar Council of India. Justice Ramana personifies qualities of a practical judge. His lordship is steadfast, firm and resolute in his beliefs. Justice to the last man is his motto. Justice Ramana is a symbol of independence of judiciary by words and action. His lordship is supremely humble, kind-hearted, and compassionate. His lordship's concern for the standard of legal education and legal profession has been reflected in many of his addresses before and after taking over as CJI. Friends, please give a big round of applause to the Honorable Chief Justice of India. We are extremely delighted to have with us Union Minister of Law and Justice, Shri Kiran Rijiju. This is his second visit to Bar Council of India within a span of a month and a half. This explains his deep bonding with the lawyers and the legal fraternity to which he belongs. Shri Rijiju is available 24/7 to listen to and ameliorate the problems of the bar. Please put your hands together to welcome Honorable Union Minister for Law and Justice. Friends, it's our privilege and honor to have with us today Honorable Judges of the Supreme Court, Honorable Justice S. Abdul Nazir, Justice Vineet Sharan, Justice M.R. Shah, Justice B.R. Gawai, Justice Krishna Murari, Justice Rishikesh Roy, Justice Vikram Nath, Justice M.M. Sundaresh, Justice C.T. Ravi Kumar, Justice Bela M. Trivedi, and Justice P.S. Narasimha. Please welcome them with a big applause. We are also delighted to have with us Honorable Members of Parliament, Shri P. Wilson, K. Ravindra Kumar, and Vivek Tankha. Thank you very much, sir. Now to begin the proceedings for today's felicitation function, may I request the Honorable Chief Justice of India, Honorable the Law Minister, Honorable Judges of the Supreme Court, and other dignitaries on the dais to please light the ceremonial lamp. Professor Ramesh Pandey, Vice Chancellor, Shri Lal Bahadur Shastri Rashtriya Sanskrit University, with his team of professors, will recite the deep shlokas while the lamp is lighted by the honorable guests. Please, हरि ओम अग्निर्ज्योतिर्ज्योतिरग्निः स्वाहा सूर्यो ज्योतिर्ज्योतिः सूर्यः स्वाहा अग्निर्वर्चो ज्योतिर्वर्चः स्वाहा सूर्यो वर्चो ज्योतिर्वर्चः स्वाहा ज्योतिः सूर्यः सूर्यो ज्योतिः स्वाहा चन्द्रमा मनसो जातश्चक्षुः सूर्यो अजायत श्रोत्राद् वायुश्च प्राणश्च मुखादग्निरजायत पावकानः सरस्वती पाजेभिर्वाजिनी वाते जलनां पष्टु धिया वसुः ओम शांति शांति शांति। Thank you very much, sir. And thanks to Professor Ramesh Pandey and all professors from Shri Lal Bahadur Shastri Central Sanskrit University. Now I would request the Honorable Chairman, Bar Council of India, Shri Manan Kumar Mishra, to deliver the welcome address. Shri Manan Kumar Mishra.
Honorable Mr. Justice NV Ramana, the Chief Justice of India, Honorable Union Minister for Law and Justice, Mr. Kiran Rijiju, Honorable Mr. Justice Abdul Nazir, Honorable Mr. Justice Vinit Saran, Honorable Mr. Justice M.R. Shah Sahab, he is absent, Honorable Mr. Justice V.R. Gavai, Honorable Mr. Justice Krishna Murari, Honorable Mr. Justice Rishikesh Roy, Honorable Mr. Justice Vikram Nath, Honorable Mr. Justice Ravi Kumar, Honorable Mr. Justice M.M. Sundaresh, Honorable Mr. Justice P.S. Narasimha, Mr. Tushar Mehta, the Honorable Solicitor General of India, Honorable Mr. K. Ravindra Kumar, Member Parliament, Senior Advocate, Honorable Mr. P. Wilson, Senior Advocate, Member Parliament, Honorable Mr. Vivek Tankha, Senior Advocate, Member Parliament, Honorable Chairman, Honorable Members of various State Bar Councils, Office Bearers of various Bar Associations, Honorable colleagues in Bar Council of India, Senior members of the fraternity, young friends, media persons, ladies and gentlemen. Friends, today the people from all parts of the country have assembled here to felicitate and welcome Honorable Mr. Justice NV Ramana. The Indian Bar is privileged to welcome the 48th Chief Justice of India, Honorable Mr. Justice NV Ramana, and the presence of our dynamic Mr. Kiran Rijiju, the Union Law Minister, has made this program more beautiful. Born on August 27, 1957, in a remote village of the state of Andhra Pradesh, in an agriculturist family, Mr. Justice NV Ramana graduated in Science and Law and became the first generation lawyer of his family. He was enrolled as an advocate in the year 1983, but before that, he had contributed to the journalism for 2 years. Then he practiced in High Court of Andhra Pradesh and then in Supreme Court of India. He also functioned as Additional Advocate General for the state of Andhra Pradesh. He has expertise in civil and criminal side, as well as he has vigorously dealt with the matters pertaining to constitution, labor, service, interstate river disputes, election, and many more fields. He is known as upholder of civil liberties and human rights, which is reflected in his speeches, orders, and judgments since the very beginning. Mr. Justice Ramana was appointed as permanent judge of Andhra Pradesh High Court on 27th June 2000, and he also functioned as acting Chief Justice of Andhra Pradesh in the year 2013. During his tenure as President of Judicial Academy, he organized a joint conference, first ever in the history of India, for the judicial officers of all ranks, police officers, correctional services authorities, juvenile justice boards, advocates, prosecutors, women bodies, social groups, and media representatives to have a dialogue on the growing menace of sexual assault on women. His recommendations to effectively tackle these sexual attacks on women made to Justice Verma's commission and led to amendment of CRPC to certain extent. Justice Ramana has participated and chaired several national and international conferences and seminars in India and abroad. He has been part of various programs of National Legal Services Authority for spreading legal awareness among the masses and for the implementation of a speedy justice delivery system. On invitation by the United Kingdom, he visited Great Britain and examined its justice delivery system. He also visited USA to assimilate their legal system. He was a part of international conclave on balancing recovery, restructuring, and liquidation, the emerging challenges in Asia, held at Colombo. He was also a part of 14th Conference of Chief Justices of Supreme Courts of Shanghai Cooperation Organization, member state, held at Sochi, Russia on 18th June 2019. Justice Ramana was elevated as the Chief Justice of Delhi High Court on 2nd of September 2013 and further elevated as Judge Supreme Court of India on 17th of February 2014. Justice Ramana is an avid supporter of judicial reforms, particularly alternate dispute redressal mechanism, and is keen to effective use of technology in Indian judicial system. Justice delivery system should be in the regional languages. This is his view. He has keen interest in philosophy and literature apart from law. My Lord, Mr. Justice Ramana has delivered many landmark judgments. A bench led by Justice Ramana fast-tracked cases pending against MPs and MLAs to uphold rule of law. Decrying the internet restriction in Jammu and Kashmir, a bench led by Honorable Mr. Justice Ramana ruled that access to the internet is a fundamental right. You also observed that prohibitory orders under Section 144 of CRPC are not to be imposed in order to suppress and legitimate expression of opinion or grievance or while exercising democratic rights. I quote his words, "Freedom of speech and expression includes the right to disseminate information as wide a section of the population as possible." Honorable Mr. Justice Ramana was also a part of a bench that brought CGI's office under Right to Information Act. Honorable Mr. Justice Ramana put the spotlight on gender inequality when he ordered fixing a notional income for non-earning homemakers. Justice Ramana had asked the center to grant permanent commission to women officers in armed forces. As a strong votary of judicial freedom and rule of law, as also independence of judiciary, our Honorable CGI we salute his observations that, I quote, "For the judiciary to apply checks on the governmental power and actions, it has to have complete freedom. The judiciary cannot be controlled directly or indirectly by the legislature or the executive, or else the rule of law will become illusionary." Not only we, the adult citizens, even a class 5 student, L. Joseph, a student of Kendriya Vidyalaya in Thrissur, applauded the Honorable CGI for his humanizing intervention during pandemic by a handwritten letter saying she was happy and proud of Honorable CGI Justice NV Ramana. Only 2 days back, my Lord Mr. Justice Ramana said that now the social media should also be regulated because sometimes it causes great harm to the nation. Bar Council of India welcomes Honorable Mr. Justice Ramana on this occasion, and Bar Council of India also welcomes all the honorable dignitaries, honorable judges sitting on the dais and off the dais. Sir, I also welcome all those participants who have joined this function on the YouTube channel of Bar Council of India. Sir, the virtual hearing has compelled the majority of advocates to leave the profession. Profession has been pocketed by a few individual elite class of lawyers and law firms. Common advocates are crying. They are on roads today. Now even survival is difficult for 85% of lawyers. Class of lawyers is the worst sufferer during this COVID-19. You are very well aware of this situation, and we are really grateful to our beloved Chief Justice of India. You wrote a letter to Union Law Minister explaining the plight of advocates during this pandemic period, and you requested the government to help the advocate. Bar is really obliged to you. Our dynamic CJI also highlighted the problems concerning infrastructure and poor internet connectivity in remote areas. The Bar believes that at this crucial period, our Justice Ramana ji is the only ray of hope. Rarely we find a bar-friendly judge like Mr. Justice Ramana. Sir, these are the rare qualities you possess, and we know that you and you only can issue a clear direction to all the high courts and other courts to start physical hearings. You have already done it in the Supreme Court. Bar is fully satisfied with the SOP for physical and hybrid hearings issued by the Supreme Court. We are also to keep in mind that the cases are increasing, and we cannot rule out the possibility of third wave. Lawyers of Supreme Court are happy. They would again be able to see the brighter days in the corridors in front of Chief Justice's Court number 1 and the courtrooms of Supreme Court. In the history of Supreme Court, the appointment of 9 judges in one go, really a marvelous achievement for the nation. Only Justice Ramana could do it. Elevation of meritorious members from bar and bench to apex court is really a historic step of our dynamic CJI, and the proactive role of Honorable Law Minister is also very praiseworthy. Only today we have come through the newspapers that 68 names have been cleared by the Supreme Court Collegium for the appointments in various high courts. Respected sir, some problems of lawyers. While constructing court buildings, governments make provisions for chambers, fans, air conditions, toilets, everything for judicial officers, and the government thinks that the lawyers should be comfortable under open sky, the plastic sheds, huts. There is no toilet, no facilities, nothing of the sort. And we are expecting strict maintenance of dignity and decorum from those lawyers. Government never think to improve this situation. In Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Jharkhand, and most of the states, the conditions are worst. Sir, since you come from a upper middle class family, you are a practical down-to-earth man. Therefore, we are daring to place all these ground realities before your lordship. Lawyers have no social security, no insurance, no mediclaim, no library, there is acute dearth of benefit to the family in case of a death, untimely death. If a young lawyer dies, his family and children suddenly come on roads. During this COVID period, thousands and thousands of lawyers have died. Sir, coming to the legal education and the profession, our advisory board for development of legal education and legal profession of Bar Council of India is being chaired by you. We are really obliged to you. On 2nd August 2021, you presided the first historic meeting of the board. Your accepting this chair and devoting so much of time on the various agendas is a clear proof of the fact that you have keen interest in development of legal education and the legal profession. And on behalf of the bar, I can assure your lordship that Bar Council of India will be doing its best to improve the legal education and the profession of the country. Our national law universities and some good law schools have already started producing world-class law graduates. Now with your guidance, we are trying to improve the standard of colleges situated in remote places also. And we are thankful to our Honorable Law Minister for his participation in the meeting of Advisory Board of Bar Council of India. Sir, neither Bar Council of India, nor any state bar council, nor any bar association of the country get even a single farthing from the government. National Law School of India, Bangalore, that was a mission of Bar Council of India. You are seeing the performance. Now our next mission is the India International University of Legal Education and Research at Goa. The government of Goa has already passed the bill to this effect. As per this Act of Goa, in this institution also, the Honorable Chief Justice of India is the visitor. Several sitting and former judges, including former Honorable Chief Justice of India, would be there in the managing bodies of the universities. We shall also involve our Union Law Minister in the affairs, and we shall also invite him at Goa. In a few weeks, you will be there to lay the foundation stone of this institution. All India Bar Exam. This exam was introduced to improve the standard of profession. It has done a lot of changes within a few years. Out of 100 LLB graduates, hardly 50 to 60 students, they pass through this All India Bar Exam. But lakhs of the advocates, they are practicing without passing it. And for that purpose, sir, we need the active support of our judiciary, our Supreme Court, and the High Courts. Sir, we don't have any machinery to check and recognize who has passed, who has not. Therefore, if a direction is issued, an advisory is issued by Supreme Court and various High Courts to the registries of all the civil courts, that without the COP number, which is given by the Bar Council of India, to the students, to the candidates who pass the All India Bar Exam, without the COP number, no wakalatnama will be accepted by the office. That will help us a lot in improving the standard of this legal profession. Sir, there is a National Judicial Academy at Bhopal, but the lawyers have no judicial academy, no lawyers academy for training of the young lawyers. Fortunately, with the help of government of Goa, we have been given the place for National Lawyers Academy. The old High Court building, that was allotted by the government to us. But suddenly in the last week when we were at Goa, we came to know that the old High Court building has been given to the District Court. This shocked us. I hope Honorable Mr. Justice Gawai is the member trustee of our Bar Council of India Trust, and Honorable our Chief Justice, they will help us and we will get the old High Court building there at Goa. Sir, बुलाए हैं तो कुछ तो अपने लिए कहना ही पड़ेगा ना। So many bar associations, they have been allotted spaces in the Supreme Court chambers. The Bar Association of India, some coordination of bar associations and others. We applied for some space in Supreme Court chamber for our office, one branch office of BCI there, but our application is pending. I'm sure that Honorable CGI will look into it seriously. Sir, bar has repeatedly been demanding for involvement of bar leaders and senior advocates in the matters of appointment and selection of judges. If that is accepted, there would be no need of any other change in the collegium system. Every appointment will be perfect. Similarly, in the matter of senior designation, bar council should have some role. Otherwise, there seems lot of controversy in these matters. Sir, so far as strike is concerned, there is a matter pending in the Supreme Court. I have been asked to explain. The members of the bar are here. Willingly and purposely, deliberately, no lawyers association, they decide to go on a strike. The lawyers go on a strike only in cases of some rarest of the rare situation. Sometimes the police atrocities, sometimes because of some rude and harsh behavior of some judicial officer. There are certain genuine reasons. And whenever it is unreasonable, the Bar Council of India, the state bar councils, they take a stern action against such lawyers. We are going to frame a rule, but our request to our Honorable Chief Justice of India is that there should be a forum at all levels, right from district up to Supreme Court level, who could listen to the bar associations, their grievances of lawyers, and this could be redressed. My Lord Mr. Justice Ramana, we wish you all success. Bar will always be with you. Bar Council of India has always stood for the institution, and it will continue to stand for strengthening the institution. When bar is strong only, then the judiciary and democracy could be stronger. ऐसा होता है कभी कभी, कुर्सी पर तो सभी बैठते हैं, लेकिन कुछ लोग बैठते हैं तो चेयर इज हैप्पी, और कुछ लोग के आने से चेयर स्टार्ट्स क्राइंग, काउंटिंग द डेज कि कब जाएंगे. और रमना साहब, हमारे कहने का मतलब था, बार इज सो हैप्पी वी ट्राइड आवर बेस्ट कि हम सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग का नॉर्म्स फॉलो करें, बट वी फेल्ड. Now it is the turn for garlanding and honoring our honorable chief guest. समय आपका ज़्यादा लिया. जय हिंद, धन्यवाद, नमस्कार.
Now I request Mr. Prabhakaran, Vice Chairman, Bar Council of India, to take over the podium. Prabhakaran.
My Lord, the Chief Justice of India, respected Honorable Ministry of Land Justice, here is a quote from celebrated author Shannon Alder. He has said, I am convinced that the jealous, the angry, the bitter, and egotistical are the first to race to the top of the mountains. A confident person enjoys the journey, the people they meet along the way, and sees life not as a competition. They are reach the summit lost because they know God is not at the top waiting for them. He is down below helping his followers to understand that the view is glorious where every stand. But like the Honorable Justice, the great Ramana Maharishi, our Chief Justice proceeded with a single-minded devotion towards the pinnacle, not to meet the God, but to teach a life's lessons to his fellow travelers. That is indeed possible to reach the pinnacle by choosing the people's path. That is the reason why, with the just 100 odd days behind him as a Chief Justice of India, this great nation, our own Ramana Maharishi has shown to the world that he is judge of the mass, a people juries. With these good words, I request my esteemed friend, the Solicitor General of India, Mr. Tushar Mehta, to felicitate the Honorable Chief Justice here.
My Lord, the Honorable Chief Justice of India, Shri Kiran Rijuji, Honorable Minister, Law and Justice, the Honorable Judges sitting on the dais, my Lord Justice Roy, and my colleagues, my friends, my brothers and sister lawyers. We are eagerly awaiting the words of wisdom from my Lord the Chief Justice of India. I have understood one thing. There are certain speakers which are fillers between the president of the function and the main speaker, and I believe that is the role assigned to me, because our chairman told me to say a few words. All of us know about George Bernard Shaw. He was in a function and somebody delivered a very lengthy speech. George Bernard Shaw was thereafter asked by the journalists, "What is your view about the speech?" And he said, "I would rather prefer to be tortured in Hitler's torture chamber than in an auditorium." I don't wish to repeat the mistake committed by that speaker. My Lord Justice Ramana, we have known since years. I have known my lords not just as a judge, but as a human being also. There are many who are good judges, but not so good human beings, or good human beings, but not so good judges. I must say, my Lord Justice Ramana is both a good human being and a great judge. I may share another thing. We have, most of us, an experience of people who are God-fearing people. I must say, Ms. Justice Ramana is not God-fearing person, but is a God-loving person. This is the distinction. Apart from his legal brilliance, his impartiality, the knowledge of law, etc., the human qualities of a judge makes him above other human beings. It's our fortune that he is the Karta of our Hindu family, our lawyers' family, and I wish his lordships a very good tenure. I also, on behalf of all of us, tender one apology to your lordships. Though the function organized was to felicitate my Lord Justice Ramana, our Honorable Chairman ended up making several requests. But sir, We, the lawyers, by force of habit, are in the unavoidable habit of praying for reliefs, whether your lordships are whether your lordships are on the dais in the auditorium or dais on the courtroom. We can't leave that habit, it's too old now to die. So kindly pardon all of us for that, but do take them seriously. I have nothing further to say. I am immensely grateful for the Bar Council of India of allowing me to be a part of this function. I am a member of the Bar Council. On the dais, perhaps, with the sole exception of Mr. Prabhakaran, I am the only person who is not a guest. I'm indeed grateful, and I wish all of you a very happy weekend. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tushar Mataji. Ladies and gentlemen, yes. Within this short window period, the Chief Justice of Ramana has created a judicial record after the record. It was his team historic endeavor to see the appointment of 9 judges to this honorable court in just one go. More importantly, 3 of them lady judges, which is again a record. 2 of the 9 will go on to become chief justices, and one will be the nation's first woman Chief Justice of India. One would have required decades to accomplish what Justice Ramana has achieved since April 24, when he was sworn in as a 48th Chief Justice of India. Raman, in effect, brought the laurels to India, and a Nobel for Sir C.V. Raman similarly. But this Ramana, in effect, will bring laurels to the judiciary in the country of the nations. In these beautiful words, I request my friend Mr. Esteemed P. Wilson to say a few felicitations in this regard. Please come.
Dignitaries on the dais, the Chief Justice of India, Honorable Mr. Justice NV Ramana, Judges of the Supreme Court, Honorable Law Minister, Solicitor General, the Presidents, Secretaries of various associations. I am really happy to be part of this function. As Mr. Prabhakaran said, in one go, we have got 9 Supreme Court judges, especially one from our state. Our long pending request, as Mr. Tushar Mehta said, every lawyer would endeavor with some reliefs. There should be a representative judiciary. Representative in the sense, Supreme Court is more or less like a parliament. If you see, who are all the judges of the Supreme Court? A lawyer practicing in a high court and a judge of a high court. It is ultimately, it is in a representative character. So what all I wanted to request our Honorable Chief Justice is, give adequate representation to all the states. Let all the high courts be represented in the Supreme Court. Apart from that, our long drawn vision is about the regional benches of the Supreme Court. Lawyers, everyone knows that the greater is the distance, is the lesser number of litigations in the Supreme Court. If you see Tamil Nadu, it contributes only 1% of litigations in Supreme Court. The reason is it is far away. Cost factor, it really affects a litigant to get justice before the Supreme Court. Therefore, they are kept away from the Supreme Court. And as Dr. Ambedkar said, Article 32 is heart and soul of the Constitution. Let this heart and soul of this Constitution be felt in the regional benches. Let, at least during the tenure of our Chief Justice, let the regional benches of the Supreme Court come. And apart from that, this is the dream of every lawyer. Let this dose of justice be open to all the litigants and not it be confined to an affluent class of person who can litigate in Supreme Court. And last but not the least, I request Honorable Chief Justice to kindly consider the increasing the retirement age of judges of the High Court. If you make it from 62 to 65, that 3 years will certainly help them. The experience which they have gained all along will certainly be an asset for the bar as well as for the judiciary. So I would request at this juncture that the Honorable Chief Justice and the Honorable Law Minister is also there, kindly consider. In fact, there have been many recommendations. Our former Chief Justice of India, Mr. Ranjan Gogoi, and followed by the next Chief Justice, have also written letters to the Honorable Law Minister. In fact, as a parliamentarian, I have introduced bill to increase the age from 62 to 65. I have even introduced a bill for regional benches of Supreme Court. So all these things are, this is a high time where the Law Minister should take up this call and should consider the difficulties which the litigant face. Thank you very much. Thanks for the opportunity. I really thank Mr. Manan Kumar Mishra and Mr. Prabhakaran, the chairman, who gave me this opportunity. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Wilson ji. Now I request Mr. Vivek Tanka to felicitate just only 2 minutes, please.
My Lord the Chief Justice, my Lord the Judges of the Supreme Court, Honorable Law Minister, Solicitor General, friends from the bar, representatives of Bar Council, Bar Associations, I have no requests. I have only come to felicitate you, sir. Today is not the day to ask for anything. But I must tell you something which I remember. When I was a young boy in school, my father was a judge who died very early, in 78. He used to be senior to Justice J.S. Verma in Madhya Pradesh. And as a youngster, I used to find 4 people coming to my house quite often. And they were 4 good friends. Justice A.P. Sen, Justice G.P. Singh, Justice J.S. Verma, and my dad. Those memories have never left me. And they were all stalwarts of the time, very independent in their thought processes. Why I'm saying this is, many years later when I came to Delhi in 2004, and I was like a son to Justice J.S. Verma. He would talk about you, sir. And he always talked so highly of you and had so much faith in you that this is something which I'm revealing many years after his death. So I just want to say that people who I admired in life, they used to admire you. So there's no reason why I should not be admiring you also. Thank you, Jai Hind.
Thank you, Vivek Tanka ji. Ladies and gentlemen, the golden era of the Indian judiciary unfolded since April 24, 2021. As a strong votary of transparency, the Chief Justice of India, Mr. Ramana, has already said he is actively considering live streaming of Supreme Court proceedings. It is not just appropriate for times COVID-19, has made a distancing necessity, and crowded court halls are prescribed till there is a meaningful curbing of the pandemic, but also a vote of transparency. Transparency is not just about the open court halls, with the members of the public barred from witness proceedings only in a very specific situations. In the hyper-connected world, transparency is also about the easing access through the real time and the electronic transmissions. In these words, I invite the Honorable Judge of the Supreme Court of India, Mr. J. Sundaresan. He has come from the corner parts of India. Sir, please, I request you to come and fill state, please.
My Lord the Chief Justice, the other dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, my sister and brother judges, members of the Parliament, senior advocates, lawyers, members of the staff, a very good morning to all of you. At the outset, I should thank both Sri Manan Kumar Mishra and Mr. Prabhakaran for giving me this opportunity. I thought I may not have an opportunity to facilitate my Lord the Chief Justice. Thank you very much, sirs. Learned Solicitor General was making a reference about a long speech. I was not expected to speak today. In a similar way, Nazaruddin Mullah was once asked to speak. He asked the audience, do you know what I am going to speak? They said, we don't know. Then he said, if you don't know what's the point in speaking, he left the podium. On the next day, again he was asked to speak, and again it's the same question he asked. The audience they were prepared for the question. They said, we know what you are going to speak. And he said, if you know what I am going to speak, there's no point in speaking. He left. Same thing happened on the third day. Then this time some of the audience said, we know what you are going to speak. And others said, we don't know. Then he said, those who do not know, please hear it from the others. My interaction with my Lord the Chief Justice before he adorned this office was rather casual. The meetings were very occasional. When I met him after he adorned this office, I was a bit apprehensive. To my surprise, I found a perfect gentleman there. I think we can clap. This quality he exhibited not only by his treatment but also by his words. I believe anybody who holds an office of prominence should have two basic characters. One is simplicity and other is the way of expression. Having achieved this office, one should eschew anger, arrogance and meanness. My Lord, I should, with a sense of humility, say that you made proud of this chair. I should also recollect one more incident which has happened a few days back when I went to meet him. The Honorable Chief Justice did not treat me like a junior judge. And he had an extensive discussion with me, treating me as if I had been here for quite a number of years. This shows that you are an administrator par excellence. I do not wish to extend my speech except by saying, recollecting two things which all of you know. A reference has been made about the appointments. 68 appointments in a record time have been cleared. Incidentally, there is also a newspaper reporting today, you know the newspapers, about the adequate representation for women in the apex court. After the function was over, some of my sister judges, including one of my sister judges who's come here, told my other Chief Justice, sir, we wanted to take a photograph with you. And then one of them made a remark, today the world will see the woman power. And four of them were standing, and in the middle, my Lord the Chief Justice was there. I was thinking to myself at that point of time, there are three honorable women judges have come, but it was done by a man. That shows his character. Mr. Prabhakaran, yes, thank you. Mr. Prabhakaran and Mr. Wilson were saying about this sense of justice. I think even that has been looked into by the Honorable Chief Justice. My Lord, I would like to conclude my speech by saying that you will certainly leave your imprint in the annals of the great institution for others to emulate and follow. Thank you very much for giving the opportunity.
Thank you, my Lord. It is said, success is not always about greatness. It's about the consistency. Consistent hard work leads to success. Greatness will come. Now I request in this verse the Honorable Justice B.R. Gawai, the Judge Supreme Court of India, to felicitate him. Please.
The Honorable the Chief Justice of India, Honorable Justice NV Ramana, the Honorable Law Minister, my esteemed colleagues, the learned Solicitor General, the President of the Chairman of the Bar Council of India, all the dignitaries, including the Honorable lawyer and member of Parliament present here, the members of the bar from various parts of the country, and friends. This is a last minute brief for me. I was just now told that I have to speak. It's almost more than 18 years that I am on the other side, only used to listening. I am grateful to Mr. Mishra and his colleagues for giving me an opportunity to speak on this occasion. I must say that we are really fortunate to have Honorable Justice Ramana as our team leader, and as said by the learned solicitor, in a true sense, a Karta of HUF family of the judiciary. Though we believe in secularism, but I must say that he is a true leader, a true eldest member of a family. I have had the opportunity of working with him on the Constitution bench, and when the country faced the pandemic and the lockdown was declared, it was the bench headed by him, of which I and Justice Kaul were a part, started working virtually within 24 hours, and the entire March, April and May vacation, we were working my lord was heading the bench to ensure that the citizens of the country are not deprived of right to access to justice. After he assumed the office of the Chief Justice, as was said by one of our colleagues, that he is like Sachin Tendulkar, breaking records one after another. Everyone has mentioned about the 9 appointments recommended by the Collegium presided over by the Honorable Chief Justice at one go. This has happened for the first time in the country that 9 judges have taken oath together. However, what I must mention about is that the mandate of the 3rd judge's case, that India is a country of diversities, geographical, social and economic, and the 9 judges in the 3rd judge's case said that while making appointments to the Supreme Court as well as the High Courts, while ensuring that merit is not compromised, it should be ensured that the aspirations of the various sections of the society, various geographical regions are taken care of. And I must say with pride that my lord, the Honorable Chief Justice and the Collegium, in recommending the names, have attempted to see to it that the mandate of the 9 judges case in the 3rd judge's case is maintained. For us, he is a true elder brother in real sense. He treats all his colleagues as the members of the family. Even on personal level, he is accessible to one and all at any point of time. And sitting with him, I could see that he has a real concern for the marginal sections of the society, for the downtrodden, for the common man. And I may not be wrong in saying that, my lord, with you, the common man of this country feels that it is the common man who has got representation as the Chief Justice of India for the first time. I always consider the bar and bench to be 2 wheels of the golden chariot of the institution of judiciary, none inferior, none superior, and all of us exist to ensure that the constitutional promise of justice, social, economic, and political in real sense is given to every citizen. We all exist for a common citizen. And my lord, I am having no banner of doubt that under your leadership, we all will work together to ensure that the justice is made available to the last citizen of this country in a speediest and most economical way. I, on behalf of all of you, congratulate my lord on his esteemed elevation. I take this opportunity to also congratulate my 9 new colleagues, 4 of whom are present here: Justice Vikramnath, Justice Ravi Babu, Justice Sundaresan, and Justice Narsiman, who was till a few days back a part of on the other side. I congratulate them. I once again thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity and wish all the best to my Lord Honorable Justice Ramana. Thank you.
Thank you, my lord. Our jurists of the masses, the greatness had indeed come after Lord the Lordship's Ramana's hard work and consistent work spread across the decades. In this good speech, I request the Honorable Justice Vinit Saran, Judge Supreme Court of India, to say a few words about the felicitation, please.
Honorable the Chief Justice of India, Mr. Justice NV Ramana, Honorable the Law Minister, my brother judges, dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, lawyers from all over the country who are present here, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to all of you. Well, it's like today, speaking over here is like as a lawyer when you are just handed over the brief at the last moment and you are a brief holder and you have to argue, unprepared. But sometimes you may have read the brief quite some time earlier and you remember something. So today is a day when I have been asked to say a few words on the felicitation of Justice Ramana. And that brief I'll know a little because I've known Justice Ramana for nearly 2 decades now. You all know about his qualities as a judge, as now also after becoming Chief Justice of India as an administrator. He has done wonders in just a few months only with 9 judges being elevated in one go, which is a record in itself. Now, today we saw in the newspapers that 68 judges have been appointed, which is again a very big achievement. Well, what I can speak of is that Justice Ramana is a person of golden heart. He has regard for everybody. He treats all his colleagues, as Brother Justice Gavai said, as equals. He regards everybody. But not only that, why I said he's a person of golden heart, because he cares for everybody. I have seen it in the last nearly 2 decades that I have known him, that he's a very caring person. He looks into the problems of each person that he knows and tries to help everybody. That's a great quality. Not only this, as one of the speakers earlier said, some 10-year-old girl had congratulated her and he responded to that. Now, yesterday somebody informed me, a guest had come and showed me that a young girl has written to the Chief Justice that when schools have opened, when college, all other businesses going on, why not the courts open? I'm told that Honorable Chief Justice has treated it as a PIL and it will be taken up, the matter would be taken up. That shows that he cares. He listens to everybody, he listens to all the persons, not only the lawyers, the other members of the society, and takes care of that. I take this opportunity to congratulate Justice Ramana once again, and I wish him a very happy and a good tenure ahead, which I'm sure it will be very successful. Thank you very much, and thank you.
Thank you, my lord. Cuban revolutionary and global ideal Fidel Castro has said, the equal right of all citizens to health, education, work, food security, culture, science, and well-being. That is the same rights we proclaimed when we began our struggle, in addition to those which emerge from our dreams of justice and equality from all inhabitants of our world, is what I wish for all. In these circumstances, I request the Honorable Law Minister, Sri Kiran Rijiju, to felicitate before this gathering. Thank you.
Namaskar. Honorable Chief Justice of India, Mr. NV Ramana ji, all the Honorable learned judges of the Supreme Court, Solicitor General of India, Tushar Mehta ji, the Chairman of the Bar Council of India, Manand Kumar Mishra ji, his colleagues, members of all the bar associations, the members of the legal fraternity of India. I'm also feeling extremely happy as well as privileged to honor somebody who has proven to be a person of very high integrity, commitment, and who is set to create a new dawn in the Indian judiciary. I had come here before also. Then I said that time that I am quite new to the world of judiciary. I don't carry a great experience, nor I don't have great wisdom and knowledge to share my thoughts and views in this matter. But I always believe in discharging my duty with focused attention and with all honesty. I think that should do justice to me in my humble beginning as the law minister of this country. When I met Justice Ramana for the first time, I did not know much about his personality. I did not know much about his background. But I had heard about him from my friends and, of course, from media. So in our first interaction only, I realized that we have a Chief Justice of India whom we all have full trust and faith that he will do justice to this country and people of this great nation. The chairman of the Bar Council of India had in detail described about his personality. Then our Solicitor General, all the Honorable Supreme Court judges have said many things. So from my position, I don't have anything to add or delete or to make any amendment to what you all have said. If I try to do something, it will lead to a disaster in his personality. So I go with whatever you all have said. I really feel privileged to be part of this felicitation function. And I felt when I came here, although this auditorium is not that big, your members are large, numbers are quite large in terms of membership from different states and union territories. But I feel homely whenever I'm here. This Bar Council of India, presently under the leadership of Manan Kumar Mishra ji, is really taking very, very proactive steps in all directions. I have many points in my mind, but today this is not the perfect occasion to spell out about all the issues and things which are concerning the nation and especially for the government. But let me appreciate the Supreme Court of India. During this very challenging time of COVID-19, you have set an example. I have told this in the Parliament of India also that Supreme Court of India and the Indian judiciary have already set an example for many other nations. You have taken a huge stride in your favor by taking up so many cases, so many important decisions during the challenging time for all of us. The Bar Council of India, especially, I have to mention this. Your proactive step, particularly towards the advancement of legal education and legal profession, is praiseworthy. I can commit from this platform that I will support you in all possible manner in your effort. And I will like to join you in many other occasions. Last month, I also participated in the advisory board of the development of legal education and legal profession meeting, headed by, of course, our Honorable Chief Justice of India. There are some issues related to the lawyers, which Manan Kumar Mishra ji had mentioned, especially junior lawyers, those lawyers who do not enjoy the protection of large firms and established bodies. They really deserve to be given support and they deserve protection. I commit as a law minister of the country to take up all necessary steps towards that direction. The Goa project, which you had mentioned, I will be very happy to be part of that. And many other things what we expect from the government or as a common citizen of this country from the Supreme Court and High Courts of India. I think last time I mentioned this thing, we have the perfect wisdom to introspect on what we can do and what we are expected to do. It is not wise on my part to suggest many things what is to be done. We all know our responsibility and we all know how to discharge our very, very important responsibilities which are given to us. Government will always try to ensure not only the judiciary of the independence of the judiciary, but also to support, to strengthen the Indian judiciary. Last cabinet meeting, we took some important decisions to support the infrastructure, especially in the lower courts. And it is a record for the first time that we sanctioned at one go for creation of the important critical infrastructures, especially in the lower courts. For the courtrooms, lawyers' halls, toilets, bathroom, digital rooms, so many things. In today's time, we require many more facilities to discharge the duties by the honorable judges. And for the convenience of the lawyers, we have to take all kind of responsibilities. For that, I have decided to ensure that I will actively persuade the state government to come up with their proactive support for the judges and for the lawyers. We have so many things to talk about, but today I will limit to the felicitation. But before ending my remarks, I would say that people keep on raising one issue, the pendency of the cases, which has become such a challenge for all of us. We talk about the pendency in the Supreme Courts and in the High Courts, but if you look closely, it is in the lower courts where we really need to look with urgency. Many people, I come from political background, so we deal with this issue day and night. When a person from a humble background, from a rural area or from urban area expect justice, he gives up everything for the sake of justice. He sells off his land, his house, whatever is belonging. Lifetime resources are being just sold off just to get a justice. And if that justice gets delayed, then it is a big question mark on all of us. And I already stated in some of our internal meeting that delaying before 3 years is actually denying the justice. After that 3 years period, the person may not require the justice because it's not given on time. So we have to ensure that the last mile person, the common man, must be given the priority when we talk about justice delivery mechanism in our country. And that is what I expect from Justice NV Ramana ji, and he is exactly doing what we expect from the Chief Justice of India. I feel honored to be part of this felicitation function. I thank the Bar Council of India for organizing this event, although a little late because of the COVID, but having the Chief Justice with all the honorable, so many Supreme Court judges together is very important, and it's eventful. And I, along with our Solicitor General of India, Tushar Mehta ji, from the government side, we will cooperate to full extent whatever you expect from the government. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Minister Saab. Just I wanted to enlighten only one thing. Whenever the testing times for the judiciary, the members of the bar, particularly the entire legal fraternity, the Bar Council of India, Mr. Manan Kumar ji, and all the State Bar Council stood with the institution. We, the members of the bar,
never let down the institution. This has been taken as a promise of the Bar Council of India. Now, I am requesting the Madan Kumar Mishra ji presenting a bouquet to the Chief Justice of India. Sir, now we are going to felicitate. Please, when I am calling, please, just 4 persons come together and not just crowded here, please. Because of the COVID, we already have been violated many things. Also, yes, I request member, please, our members, two members come, please, two members. No, first you give chief. Two.
सर मेरा फोटो
Sir, one by one, please. Our member, Bar Council of India, all co-chairmen, then the executive members, and then executive vice chairmen. Please. Yes, Tushar Mata, you are going to Tushar. Ms. Apurva, giving to the Honorable Minister, Tushar. Oh, sorry. Tushar Mata, please. One by one. Hey, you first don't put this, I want to put down. Deshmukh ji, first our members alone, first. Mehta ji, please. D.K. Sharma ji, Pratap Singh ji, Punjab. Mr. Ram Reddy from Andhra Pradesh. Mr. Dalji. Mr. Dalji, Chairman of the BCI Trust from Odisha. Next. Suresh Simali, Co-Chairman from Rajasthan. Mr. Prasant Kumar Singh from Jharkhand. Mr. Manoj Kumar, Executive Vice Chairman from Kerala. Mr. Shailendra Dubey from Chhattisgarh. Tripati, sir.
Mr. Siddharth Tripathi ji, you will present a bouquet to Honorable Mr. Justice Binit Saran ji. Yes, wait. Mr. Deshmukh ji, Desraj ji, you will present a bouquet to Honorable Mr. Justice Gawai, B.R. Gawai sahab. Mr. Vishnu, you will present a bouquet to Honorable Law Minister. Mr. Prabhakaran, you will present a bouquet to Honorable the Chief Justice. Mr. Siddharth Tripathi ji, you will present a bouquet to Honorable Mr. Justice Bikram Nath. Mr. Ved Prakash Sharma ji, please present a bouquet to Honorable Mr. Justice Krishna Murari. Mr. Satish Deshmukh, please present a bouquet to our Solicitor General of India, Honorable Tushar Mehta ji. Mr. Patel Sahab, where are you? Now, Mr. Ved Prakash Sharma ji, please present a bouquet to Mr. P. Wilson Sahab, the senior advocate, honorable member of parliament. Mr. हमने दिया
Ramana sir telling, please give.
ये दे रहा हूँ सर.
Ramana sir is telling, please give
Please.
to Kawai sir.
Mr. Patel, member Bar Council of India, will present a bouquet to Honorable Mr. Justice Nazir, Abdul Nazir.
Kawai sir.
Mr. Prasant, you will present a bouquet to Honorable Mr. Justice Gawai. Mr. Deshmukh, you will present a bouquet to Honorable Senior Advocate Mr. Ravindra Kumar, the Member of Parliament. Mr. Pratap Mehta ji, please present a bouquet to Mr. Vivek Tankha, the Senior Advocate, Member of Parliament. Mr. Desraj Sharma, please present a bouquet to Mr. P.S. Narasimha, Honorable Judge, Supreme Court of India. Mr. Sadasiv Reddy, please present a bouquet to Honorable Mr. Justice M.M. Sundaresh. Mr. Vishnuvardhan Reddy, please present a bouquet to Honorable Mr. Justice Ravi Kumar. Now it is the turn of felicitating our Honorable, the Chief Guest, Honorable Mr. Justice NV Ramana, by the representatives of different bar councils and bar associations.
Sir, please kindly, the Andhra Pradesh State Bar Council, Mr. Rami Reddy, come along with Mr. Sri Ramarao Ganta, Chairman, State Bar Council of Andhra, and Mr. Rama Jogeshwar Rao, Kirti, State Bar Council Vice Chairman, and the State Bar Council, Andhra Pradesh, Mr. Krishna Mohan, Member, please come along with the four. Only four alone, please.
And I take the privilege to present a bouquet to Honorable Mr. Justice Bikram Nath in the meantime.
Yes. Only four, just to go one by one, just one by one, please. Yes. Strictly following, please. Assam किधर है? Name किधर है? No, nothing. I'll call first. Assam call. And Andhra Pradesh High Court Bar Association, Y.V. Ravi Prasad, President of the High Court Bar Association of Andhra Pradesh, and Secretary, the Vice President, Mr. G.L. Nageshwar Rao, Vice President. And this, what is the name, Secretary? And the Secretary, Mr. Pita Raman. And Andhra Pradesh High Court Bar Association, Tota Sunita, Treasurer, and JMU Prasad, Secretary, please. Just, sir, wait. Just two to go. Yes, one by one. Yes. Yes, correct. And Andhra Pradesh High Court Bar, the Ravi Prasad Majesty and the Tipa Reddy, both please come together. One by one. Next, Assam, be ready, please. Next, Assam. Assam, come here. Mr. Apur Kumar Sharma, bring your members from Assam High Court and State Bar Council. State Bar Council of Assam, Das Nair, Vice Chairman, and the High Court Bar Association, Surendranath Sharma, President Assam, please. Only two members from the Bar Council, and then I will call one by one, please. Assam High Court Bar Association, Surendranath Sharma, Guwahati, and Assam State Bar Council, Das Nair. Jaldi aao, jaldi aao. And next to be Bihar, be ready. State Bar Council, Ramgand Sharma, Chairman, and Bihar State Bar Council, Yadav, Vice Chairman Sahab, please Aro. And State Bar Council, Sri Ranjan Kumar Jha, just only four on artistic, thereafter no. And Yogesh Chandra Verma, Bihar State Bar Council, just 4. And Rajiv Kumar Dwivedi, sub, please come, sir.
Please come fast.
Come fast. And Sri Rajiv Kumar Dwivedi, Premnath Oja, Ajay, wait, Jharkhand now. First Bihar, finish it. And Bihar, Mr. Ramachandra Prasad, and Prem Kumar Jha, and Murari Kumar Himnashu. 3 should go. 3, not more than. State Bar Council, Madan Mohan Mishra, Sachidanand Singh, Bihar, Jitendra Narsinha, Dinath Yadav, Bihar nahi, hold on. Arun Kumar Pandey, jaldi aa raha ho, slowly. Arun Kumar Singh, one by one, just go, one by one. Not at districts, please, one by one. Jai Prakash Singh, Arun Kumar Singh, Yogesh Chandra Verma, Shailendra Kumar Singh, Secretary, Barrister Associations of Patna, Ajay Kumar, Shailendra Kumar Singh, Lawyer Association Patna, Ajay Talgur President, +1. GS Lawyers Association, Patna, Mr. Rajiv Kumar Singh. GS Lawyers Association, Patna. Who? Vishwajit Mishra, member. And GS Lawyers Association, Patna High Court, Ashutosh Tripathi, member. Bihar Barrister Association, Patna, Mr. Sanjay Singh, President. And Bihar Association, Patna, Mukesh Kant, Secretary. That's all. These are all no, Kranti Kumar, and Arvind Ujwal, Mukesh Kumar, Bihar. Please come, jaldi aa raho. Next to Delhi, be ready, please. Next to Delhi. I request Mr. Ved Sharma ji, take your Delhi State Bar Council member, State Bar Council member of Mr. Delhi, Mr. Himal Akhtar, Vice Chairman, and the State Bar Council of Delhi, DK Singh, member Bar Council of Delhi, and Delhi State Bar Nitin Ahalwat, member at BCD, and Delhi State Bar Council member Rajesh Mishra, and then
Mr. Jatan Singh.
Mr. Jatan Singh. Murari Tiwari. Yeah, please.
Mr. Murari Tiwari.
Mr. Murari Tiwari. And then Delhi High Court Bar Association, Jatan Singh. And Delhi, char. Dodo, and you introduce, you go there. I request Mr. Ved Sharma, go and introduce him, please. And Delhi High Court Bar Association, Abhijit. Next be Gujarat. Jharkhand next to here, na? Gujarat State Bar Council, be ready, Ms. Patel Saab. Patel Hirabai, Sivabai, Chairman, State Bar Council of Gujarat. And State Bar Council, Kohil Sakanti Sabarji, Vice Chairman. The Gujarat Bar Association, Mr. Yatinosa, President, please come. Patel Saab, you come here first. You come. Jaldi raho na. 4-4. See, no time, just go. Only 4-4. And Mr. Yatinosa, please. And Sabarji, Vice President. And then High Court Bar Association of Gujarat, Hardik Brahmford, Secretary. Next, Himachal. I request Himachal Pradesh State Bar Council, Mr. Narendra Singh, Vice Chairman, and State Bar Council, Mr. Vipin Pandit, Deshraj Sharma, you take them to go, just introduce. Vipin Pandey, Honorary Secretary, and Himachal High Court Bar Association, Mukul Sood, Vice President, and Himachal High Court Bar Association, Dhananjay Sharma, Secretary. Together, go together, just one by one, just one by one. Wait.
You have not written SCBA.
SCBA, no. Yes, no, I'll call. Now,
Vice Chairman, Honorary Secretary.
now I request the Supreme Court Bar Association Vice President Mr. Pradeep Roy, Vice Chairman, Supreme Court Bar Association, and Mr. Prasad, the Honorary Secretary, Dandu Prasad, and executive members of the Supreme Court Bar Association, Madam Mahalakshmi and Balasubramanyam, and the Skora, the Mr. Aristotle. Hey, Dandu, please. Go. Pradeep Roy, please. Pradeep Roy, Prasad, Executive Madam Mahalakshmi.
Shivasankar Tripathi, Supreme Court Bar.
Supreme Court Bar, Shivasankar Tripathi. And Mr. Balasubramanyam, Senior Advocate. And Aristotle, Skora, Supreme Court Association Records. Shivasankar Tripathi, Supreme Court Bar Association, please. Jharkhand, be ready next. Jharkhand State Bar Council, Rajendra Krishna, Chairman. Mr. Prasad, and Rajesh Kumar Shukla, and High Court Bar Association, Ritu Kumar, President, and Jharkhand High Court Bar Association, Naveen Kumar, Secretary. And next, Karnataka, be ready. Sir, jaldi. Vice Chairman, please, Rajesh Kumar Shukla, Jugal. And next, Karnataka, Mr. Sadasiv Reddy, be ready. Srinivasa Babu, L. Chairman, State Bar Council of Karnataka. And State Bar Council of Karnataka, Mr. Muniappa, member. And Karnataka is the Muniappa member, no? And who is the next? Another man has come. State Bar Council. Muniappa. Hey, Sadasiv Reddy, just be only two. Muniappa, Jaljar. And next is Kerala. Mr. Fast only, otherwise the crowd will come here. Mr. Manoj Kumar, please be here. Kerala State Bar Council, Joseph John. You must be tired. Kerala State Bar Council, Anil Kumar N. Kerala High Court, John Mani, please.
Kerala High Court Bar, Mr. John Mani V. Yes. Next is Madhya Pradesh State Bar Council, Vijay Kumar Chaudhary, R.K. Singh Shaini, Manish Tiwari, Sandeep Mehta, Dilip Awasthi, Shamparun Tiwari. Madhya Pradesh Bar, Next, Maharashtra and Goa. Please. Sampurna Tiwari, yes. Maharashtra and Goa, State Bar Council, Mr. Gajanan Chauhan, Sangram Desai, Anil Gowadipe, Avinash Ahad, Adit Deshmukh, Sanjeev Kadam, Mrs. Gauri Bhankar Raman, Mr. Praful Kulwakar, Vishal Vidyasagar Kanade, yes, and Abhay Nachindkar. President Secretary, Nagpur. Next, Odisha. Manas Ranjan Mahapatra, Manas Mahapatra, मेरे को जाना पड़ेगा ना Odisha.
So where is Odisha?
Yeah,
We are
here.
starting Odisha. Mr. Manas Ranjan Mahapatra and Mr. Dhal, please go and introduce.
दोनों के एक साथ अंजुल द्विवेदी साई गिरधर
Mr. Anjul Dwivedi, Miss Anjul Dwivedi, and Mr. Sai Girdhar, please. And from Punjab and Haryana, Mr. Pratap Singh, please introduce your Bar Council members and Bar Association members. Mr. Minderjeet Yadav, Chairman, Mr. Raj Kumar Chauhan, Vice Chairman, Mr. Chanchal Singla, Mr. Chanchal Singla, Honorary Secretary, Punjab and Haryana High Court Bar Association. Please go. Mr. Harinder Singh Sinsinwar from Rajasthan, please be ready. The Rajasthan delegation, be ready. Mr. Bhuvanesh Sharma, Mr. Anil Chaudhary, Mr. Nathu Singh Rathor, Mr. Shrimali, please come and lead your delegation. Then Tamil Nadu. Yes.
Tamil Nadu. Mr. P.S. Wilson, Senior Advocate, please come. And State Bar Council? Yes, all three, please. Mr. Vivek Tanka, Mr. Ravindra Kumar, please. All three. Mrs. P.S. Samalraj, State Bar Council of Tamil Nadu Chairman. Mr. V. Karthikeyan, State Bar Council Vice Chairman. Mr. Arunachalam, Co-Chairman. Mr. Mohan Krishnan, President of the Madras High Court Advocate Association. And Mr. Marapan, Co-Chairman Bar Council of India, Bar Council of State Bar Council, Tamil Nadu. And Mr. B. Ashok, come together 3-3. And Mr. K. Balu, Mr. Sri Muruga, Mr. D. Saravanan. Just don't. Huh? Come. Already बोल दिया. No, बोलना. Your name is given.
I am only.
You are the one. Yeah. Telugu. Chhattisgarh. My friend Mr. Shailendra Dubey. Please one. I am coming. Just. Please. Okay.
Let it be over. Tamil Nadu over. Telangana.
Okay. Tamil Nadu is over.
Please go. Tamil Nadu, please go. Tamil Nadu. Sir, please go. Tamil Nadu. Next, sir.
Members from the
First 1 second. Bar Council Chairman. Click.
where is this?
Bar Council Chairman.
Where is that? Where is
I'll
that?
tell you, please tell me. A. Narasimha, Chairman.
ठीक है sir.
Chairman. 3.
हाँ हाँ I will.
Yes, sir. Please go, sir. Tamil Nadu. Yeah, please.
Let them come.
We request all of them to go
Yes.
faster. Sir. Sir, wait, let Tamil Nadu be over. Sir, Tamil Nadu can. Sir, only Tamil Nadu. Sir, please go. All of you requested to wear the masks, please maintain social distance.
May I request all the honorable members to have their mask on, because though we are enjoying the day properly, but at least we should have our mask on our face. I am requesting all the respected honorable members, we should be careful and cautious.
Let Telangana be ready. Please
So I am requesting members of the Telangana State Bar Council
get ready.
to get themselves ready, because their turn comes now.
Let Telangana.
Yep,
Sir, yes, Telangana. Let it be over. No, what do you want? Please go.
So now
Please go fast. Please go fast.
I am inviting members of Telangana State Bar Council, Mr. A. Narasimha Reddy, Chairman, K. Sunil Gaud, Vice Chairman, Punnam Ashok Gaud, President Telangana High Court, Muhammad Mumtaz Pasha, Vice President, Mr. Kalyan Rao, Secretary, T. Surjan Kumar Reddy, Secretary, T. Narasimha Reddy, Advocate, who accompanied by Vishnuvardhan Reddy and one Somandri Gaud Katam.
Yeah, sir. Yeah, I give just setting. Please go to one. Please. We also request Mr. Ramchandra, PCA member X. Please come.
I am also requesting our ex-member Bar Council of India, Mr. Ramchandra Rao, please accompany with Telangana team. Please, Ramchandra Rao is with us. Please come. Vishnu bolo. Vishnu. Next, Chhattisgarh State Bar Council. He is being represented by Shailendra Dubey.
Write one name. Rahul Sharma from Delhi High Court. Rahul Sharma.
Yes. So next is Tripura Bar. May I request members of Tripura Bar to be ready after Telangana. Mr. Pradyut Kumar Dhar, Senior Advocate. Srimati Kakalili Dev,
Telangana. I request Anthony Reddy. Just say the word Telangana. Please, he's there.
yes, I am also requesting Mr. Anthony Reddy from Telangana State Bar Council, please accompany with Telangana Bar. Yes. नहीं पे. Yes, Tripura, Pradyot Kumar Dhar, Kakali Dev. So now I am requesting members from Uttar Pradesh State Bar Council to be led by Mr. Siddharth Tripathi, Member Bar Council of India representing State of UP, Shishir Kumar Behorotra, Chairman, Pradeep Kumar Singh, Janaki Sharan Pandey, Arjun Singh Bhandari, Ranjan Solanki, yes. After Uttar Pradesh, I am requesting Mr. Rahul Sharma from Delhi Bar. Arjun Singh Bhandari, Ranjan Solanki from Uttarakhand, led by our honorable member D.K. Sharma. Now I am requesting members of West Bengal State Bar Council West Bengal State Bar Council, Mr. Siddharth Mukhopadhyay, Shyamal Ghattak.
West Bengal. Only. West Bengal.
Yes, Mr. Yes, Siddharth Mukhopadhyay, Vice Chairman, Shyamal Ghattak, Chairman, Executive Committee, to be on the, yes. Finished.
Okay. Now, all the honorable members, all the honorable guests, they are requested to take their seat. Please take your seat. हम लोग देंगे सॉल्व सबको बिल्कुल गिव इट टू हिम it must be there
सर प्लीज सर टाइम नहीं सर टाइम नहीं
एक सेकंड
अच्छा ठीक
Now I request Mr. Manan Kumar Mishra to present a shawl to the Honorable CJI. Mr. Apurva Kumar Sharma will present a shawl to Justice, Honorable Justice Gawai. चलो Mr. Satish Deshmukh to present a shawl to the Honorable Law Minister. Mr. Dhal to present a shawl to Honorable Justice Nazir. Mr. Vishnu Vardhan. To Honorable Justice Vineet Sharan. Mr. Prabhakaran to Mr. Honorable Justice Krishna Murari. Mr. Dubey, please come. Please present a shawl to Honorable Justice Rishikesh Roy. He is gone. To Honorable Justice Vikram Nath. Mr. Patel, please come. Mr. Desraj. Mr. D.K. Sharma, please come. Mr. Patel will present a shawl to Honorable Justice C.T. Ravi Kumar. Yes. Mr. Desraj. Mr. Prabhakaran to Mr. Sundaresh, Justice Sundaresh. Mr. Prashant Sadashiv Reddy, Mr. Shirimali Pratap Singh ji, please come. All of you, please come. Please come.
Big soul, big mug.
Now, all members of Bar Council of India, please come for the big garland to Honorable Chief Justice of India. All members of Bar Council of India.
You want comb? You want comb?
Please give the way. I think space is sir, space is less. చాలా తక్కువ ఉంది. Space.
Yeah, that's all. William Knight.
Finish.
Big guy.
Yes, just. Yes. Yes. We will call it. Thank you, my lord. I request all members, please kindly take a seat. The Chief Justice is going to address. The judicial examples and precedents set by him are so plentiful that we will not be able to complete them during this entire felicitatory sessions today. What is important is the Ramana era of Indian judiciary has begun to bloom. As the days go by, the nation will benefit immensely from the judicial mastery, vision, foresight, concern, empathy and responsiveness of the Chief Justice of Ramana, for he is a people's judge and the jurist of the mass. Sir, now I am requesting the my Lord the Chief Justice of India, to address before this gathering. I request, please, all the members be seated, please. Please. Sir, I am requesting Mr. Manan Kumar Misra ji to present a memento, myself and Manan Kumar Misra ji.
Now, please take your seat now. Now, we are going to request our Honorable the Chief Guest today, Honorable Mr. Justice NV Ramana, to address the gathering. Honorable Mr. Justice NV Ramana Sahab.
My dear brother and sister judges, Honorable Minister for Law, Mr. Kiran Rijiju, members of the Parliament, Mr. Wilson, Mr. Ravindra Kumar Vivek Rankaji, Honorable Solicitor General of India, Tushar Mehtaji, Chairman of the Bar Council of India, and the architect of this function, Sri Manan Kumar Mishra ji, Sri S. Prabhakaran, Vice Chairman, Ved Prakash Sharma, Co-Chairman, Aprup Kumar Sharma, Chairman, Executive Committee, BCI, other office bearers of and members of the BCI, chairpersons, vice chairpersons, members of the state bar councils, Vice President, Mr. Roy, Supreme Court Bar Association, Mr. Prasad, Secretary, Mr. Aristotle Skora, and other executive members of the Supreme Court Bar Association, President and Secretaries of Bar Associations of various high courts, other distinguished guests, media friends, ladies and gentlemen. While coming before to this meeting, I saw a huge elaborated lunch organized by the Bar Council of India. I have not understand the reason why lunch. Now I understand the reason. In fact, after seeing this overwhelming reception, affection given by all of you, made my job more critical and more responsible. I am very much touched by your sharing of your emotions, love, affection across the country. I know, in spite of the pandemic still existing, people of old age also, with elements also, they came here to participate in the felicitation and say, remind me my responsibilities. I feel this is more than a felicitation, reminding my responsibilities as a Chief Justice of India. In fact, I want to say 2 words, say thanks, and I don't want to talk much. Really, after so many days, I think more than 3 years back only, I think we came. I remember Justice Gogoi's time when he's the Chief Justice, you invited me to this hall to participate. Thereafter, we never had an occasion to interact with the members of the bar, unfortunately because of the pandemic. I had an apprehension that whether it is time again to go a physical meeting with all the members coming across the different parts of the country. But I could not resist the invitation of members of the bar. I have a lot of weakness for the bar associations and bar councils. The reason is my roots or my origin is from the bar. I enjoyed my life as a member of bar more than the judge. This is my honest confession. You are an independent person. You have no need to oblige anybody. You can speak frankly whatever you feel right. You have a lot of freedom, and you feel proud that you are representing for a cause. That is the happiness, that is the satisfaction you get when you are a member of the bar. Yes, no doubt, judgeship is a onerous responsibility and more expectations from the members of the bar and citizens of the country. But I thought that I want to pen down instead of extemporaneous speech, so I may miss some of the points important which I think to address the Apex Council, that is the Bar Council of India, which represents lakhs of lawyers and judicial personnel of this country. I don't want to miss this opportunity in expressing my views. Sometime it may hurt, sometime it may be encouraging. That is the reason why I want a comprehensive thought process should be reflected in my written speech, even though I am fond of talking orally. So excuse me, it takes another 10 minutes, 12 minutes more, but it is my duty as a Chief Justice to express these my feelings about the bar, about the system, about everything. I have spoken enough in my earlier speeches about the legal profession and the role of lawyers in shaping our societies. Undoubtedly, lawyers, being the crusaders for rights, are an important wheel in the chariot of justice. The Bar Council as a statutory body was visualized in 1960s, and ever since it has been functioning for promoting well-being and ethics within the profession, from regulating legal education to legal profession, from creating awareness about the law to providing legal aid. The Bar Council of India truly an institution of great social significance. The Bar Council plays an indispensable role in formulating the legal landscape of the country. Recently, in spite of tremendous work pressure, I could not resist an invitation to chair the advisory board for the development of legal education and legal profession organized by the Bar Council, and I have already raised various concerns and have given my opinion regarding the growth and future of legal profession. Law was often seen as a rich man's profession. Access to the profession was very limited to the rich and privileged. Slowly, the dynamics are changing within the profession. Due to change in the social conditions, opportunities are opening up to all sections of the society to be a lawyer and judges. But I feel majority of aspirants from rural and vulnerable communities are not getting enrolled in the profession. Legal profession still somehow remain an urban profession. This is because there are several obstacles which a young advocate must overcome. The harsh reality is that without any patronization, in spite of several years of waiting and struggle, no one can guarantee stability in the profession. Another area which needs to be highlighted is that majority of women advocates struggle within the profession. Very few women find representation at the top. Even when they do, they still continue to face significant challenges. After 74 years of independence, one would expect at least 50% representation for women at all levels. But I must admit, with great difficulty, we have now achieved a mere 11% of women representation on the bench of the Supreme Court. Some states because of reservation policy may reveal higher representation, but the reality remains that the legal profession still has to welcome women in its fold. I want to highlight a new trend in the profession. This is similar to what happened in foreign countries. I am referring to corporatization of the profession. Because of issues relating to livelihood, many young and bright lawyers are joining law firms. This is a welcoming change as it is opening up fresh avenues for first generation lawyers. But at the same time, it is also causing a decline in traditional practice. Common people cannot afford quality legal advice at corporate prices, which is an area of concern. Even though we are strongly providing access to justice, still lakhs of people in India are unable to approach the courts to seek remedy. The high expenditure and long delay, which is a part of our legal process, is the biggest challenge. Although this might not be right occasion to mention, but as an experienced member of the judicial family, it is my duty to bring to your notice certain hard facts. The judicial system is facing difficult challenges like that of deficient infrastructure, shortage of administrative staff, and huge vacancies of judges. I want to mention here that is the reason why before much becoming the Chief Justice of India, I have mentioned in my Goa speech that India needs a National Judicial Infrastructure Corporation, which your President, Chairman Mr. Manan Kumar Mishra mentioned in his speech about the difficulties facing lawyers, particularly in courts, rural courts or high courts. I am also one of the person who has physically seen in my high court days practice where the woman doesn't have toilets. And it is very difficult the particular women lawyers to come to courts and wait long hours in the court corridors. After I became the acting Chief Justice, I can made some provision in the underground of the High Court building, some toilets. This is the fate of the High Courts. The reason is the infrastructure, the court buildings, which we are having is constructed most of them by the British. Later on, even though we are adding some additional buildings, it is not adequate to take care of the judicial officers to work and accommodate the lawyers. And the most important thing, the clients who are the consumers of law, they doesn't get any representation and any facility in the courts, which is a very serious concern. That is the reason I have prepared a huge voluminous report collecting information from each nook and corner of the country. I am going to present after 1 week time to the Honorable Law Minister to look into that and how many court buildings we need, how many chambers we need, how much of facilities we have to provide to the bar and the members of the bar, women lawyers, etc. These details I am going to furnish to the Honorable Law Minister to look into the infrastructure issues. So national level infrastructure corporation, if it is created, it can take care of the issues of infrastructure. This is one of the issues. So far as the vacancies are concerned, I will refer the particulars here. It has been my endeavor to address the issues of vacancies in the highest judiciary is an urgent basis. Here I must place on record my sincere thanks to my colleagues in the collegium, Honorable Justice Lalit, Honorable Justice Kanvilkar, Honorable Justice Dhananjay Chandrachud, Honorable Justice L.N. Rao, who have become active and constructive partners in this endeavor. Due to the collective efforts, as you are all aware, we could reduce the number of vacancies in the apex court to just one. Similarly, after I took over, the collegium has recommended, if I am not wrong, yesterday, 82 names to various high courts. I hope the Honorable Law Minister is here. The government will ensure that the names are cleared at the earliest, just the way the 9 names were cleared for the apex court. It is an ongoing process. We hope to live up to the Herculean challenge of filling 41% of vacancies existing in all the high courts. Lawyers are born leaders. They are mentors, guides, friends, and philosophers. They should always remain active members of society and solve the problems faced by the people. Take any people's movement. Lawyers have always been at the forefront. A lawyer needs to be an all-rounder and a versatile personality. He must be well versed about social issues and various fields like economics, history, politics, literature, and others. Here we must remember lawyers such as legendary late Nani Palkiwala, who despite never being an economist, used to address the public every year and enlightening about the budget. That is why society gives a lot of respect to lawyers. It is your duty to keep up the confidence reposed in you by the public. I call upon you, all of you, help the needy, women, farmers, workers, and the disadvantaged to exercise their legal rights. Whenever it is possible, extend pre-legal aid and educate people about their rights. I also want to use this platform to send a message to the young members of the bar. Never forget the age-old values of this noble profession. Seniority has immense value in this profession. Give due regard to your senior members at the bar for their experience, knowledge, and wisdom. Respect women colleagues and treat them with dignity. Respect the institutions and the judges. You are the front line of the legal system. And you must protect the institution from targeted, motivated, and malafide attacks. It is inherent to the bar that it speaks up for what is fair and just. Unfortunately, we lost many valuable members of the bar this year. COVID has affected us physically and mentally. It has also affected the nature of the profession as a whole. Lawyers who cannot adapt modern technology have been left behind. COVID has led to the exclusion of one generation of talented lawyers. This disparity is not good for the nation or the profession. And here I want to explain 1 minute about the physical hearings. It is no doubt true. Today newspapers also reported that I have expressed my displeasure about the video problems which we are facing. It is true, and unfortunately there is no other option. The connectivity issue is a big issue, and we have brought it to the notice of the Honorable Law Minister earlier to call for the internet service providers and at least provide some internet facilities in rural areas particularly, because they don't have the internet facilities, they are not in a position to practice. Only people who can afford, a district court lawyer, high court lawyers also started appearing in the official courts. That means a generation of lawyers in rural areas are out of the profession, which is a very dangerous trend. So I request the Present Honorable Law Minister, please call for these internet service providers. Let them provide mobile internet vans in the taluka centers where the lawyers can approach, use those facilities. They can address the court and they can also be part in the system. The Bar Council of India and the state bar associations have taken several steps to ameliorate the conditions of lawyers during these difficulties. Immediately after taking over the Chief Justice of India, I have written to the Honorable Minister in this regard, requesting the government to take necessary steps to help those in crisis. With the young and dynamic gentleman law minister in office, we can expect positive measures at rapid pace. And the Honorable Law Minister mentioned that he doesn't have the wisdom and knowledge. He has enough wisdom and enough knowledge, and he has already, we have seen, experienced his wisdom and knowledge. I'm very happy to be a party with him in all the decision-making process. He's such a dynamic law minister. He came after taking oath, and next day he met me. And I thought he's a college student coming just from college. I don't want to ask his age, of the secret of his age, sir, and all that. So he said, sorry, sir, I don't have any experience in law. Even though I am a law graduate, I never practiced. It doesn't matter. Practice and law profession is different, and politics and minister is a different thing. It is better not to have your experiences or prejudices against the profession of law judges. So he said honestly, sir, you please guide us, or you please tell what is the problems and all that. I requested him. The first problem is filling up the vacancies and expedite the vacancies. This is the first priority. then immediately he started working, he started sending all the files, thanks to him, and he cleared in a jet speed. The 9 names, I think 6 days time, a record break first time, without any murmur, anything. I must thank the Honorable Prime Minister and the Law Minister and the Government of India for clearing the names. I expect the same speed, the other High Court names also, if they clear another 1 month's time, we expect at least 90% of the vacancies filled in this country. However, it is not enough. We must keep trying at our own levels to ease the difficulties. As a well-wisher, I urge the members of the bar to never forget your commitment to the cause of justice and to never deny help to those in need. John W. Davis, who is the Solicitor General of the United States, once said it, I quote, "True, we lawyers build no bridges, we raise no towers, we construct no engines, but we smooth our difficulties. We relieve stress, we correct mistakes, we take up other man's burdens, and by our efforts, we make possible the peaceful life of man in a peaceful state," unquote. Honorable Mr. Vivek Tanka reminded me about me saying about Honorable Justice J.S. Verma. I'm very moved because I had lot of affiliation, or what you say, he used to treat me like his son, even though I am not a judge, I am nothing at that time, after all a junior lawyer. But when I used to go to him, he always used to say, you have to be frank, don't afraid of anything, and whatever you feel right, you do it as a lawyer or judge and all that. By that time, I have never even expected that I will accept this judgeship. And he also said lightly, after my elevation, Justice Ramana, I want to tell you one thing. If you make one judge, you get 10 enemies, be careful. At the same time, under your chairman, Ms. Mishra, made suggestions about this COP, that is the lawyers, that is quack lawyers practicing mafia rural areas. I will see that some solution for that problem. It is true, like quack doctors, quack lawyers also nowadays appearing, I agree. And the second thing is that he wants creating a grievance redressal mechanism is a welcoming suggestion. I will consider it and I will write letters to the concerned Chief Justices so they can constitute some mechanism to think. It is good because we must have interaction, otherwise it is difficult to understand your problems, it is difficult for you also to understand our problems. A interaction with the members of the bar frequently helps a lot, and exchange note. We should not live in ivory towers, that is what I believe. And so for the, he made a request about the providing some place in the Supreme Court building. I already told my registrar, Mr. Goyal, to find out a place for the Bar Council of India. And one more thing I already told that you all praised about the credit, entire credit to me that I have done these appointments and all that. This is not my credit. I am not, even though Tendulkar, entire team has to work together, then only they will win the match. With these words, I expect the legal community to guide the nation to an ever brighter future. Thank you for organizing this event. It is a humble experience. I am grateful indeed. I am very much impressed with the leadership qualities of Mr. Manan Kumar Mishra, Chairman, Bar Council of India. He and his colleagues in the Bar Council of India have always stood for the institution. Whenever there is a challenge before the institution, the council stood by it. I am touched by the fact that the office bearers and the members of various bar councils and associations from across the country have travelled from far to be here today. I am fully conscious of the fact that this event is not to honor me as a person, It is your way of honoring an institution. We shall collectively strive to protect the dignity, integrity, reputation of the institution. Your kind words and garlands weigh heavily on me. Literally, I must say, you turned this Saturday into a memorable day of my life. Thank you very much.
Before Mr. Vishnuvardhan Reddy, he gives the vote of thanks, I'll get this opportunity to especially felicitate 4 of our family members now. The Honorable Tushar Mehta ji, second or third time he is here. We are thankful to Honorable Chief Justice of India that because of this honor he has come here. So, the 3 senior advocates, the MPs, they are also here. The Honorable Law Minister, fortunately, he is here, so let me felicitate him by this shawl and all that. Mr. Ravinder Kumar ji, Senior Advocate, MP, Mr. P. Wilson, Senior Advocate, MP. No, I am coming there, sir. Mr. Vivek Tankha, MP, Senior Advocate. Now, Mr. Vishnu is to deliver the vote of thanks.
A proud son of Telugu Talli, beloved son of Bharata Mata, and greatest son of Goddess of Justice, Sri Nutalapati Venkata Ramana, having born to a family of an agriculturalist in Ponnamaram village of Krishna district of Andhra Pradesh, he is giving a hopes to the millions of the young lawyers of this country that nothing is impossible in judiciary, that a commoner, a son of a farmer can reach the highest peaks of judiciary. Sir, we are very grateful to this Indian democracy, that the Indian democracy has proved that Article 14 is very strictly implemented without there being any discrimination. My lords, the history of the Supreme Court will be written with the golden letters in the history of Indian judiciary, with your working as a Chief Justice of India. We are all hopeful of 19 lakh lawyers of this country. And my lords, I can say one thing, lordships, your lordships, whenever you are invited for the functions at Hyderabad, you like Telugu mother tongue as very much, and wherever Telugu language, wherever you are invited, you speak very humorous poetic sayings. I will also recall and remember my lords G. Gurijada Venkata Apparao, that the great social writer in Telugu, what he said, Deshamante matti kadoi, Deshamante manushalai. Country is not the soil, country is with the capable persons. Deshamunu preminchumanna, love your country, manchi annadi penchumanna, promote good, otti maatalu katti pettavai, stop waste talk, gatti melu talapettavai, do some good to fellow beings. The great social writer of Gurijada Apparao of 20th century, I recall. My lords, I am a witness to your lordship working as a advocate in United Andhra Pradesh High Court. I was also, because I started my practice in 1998, I had great opportunity myself and the Bar Council Chairman Sri Narsimhareddy Garu, Ganta Ramarao Garu, Ponnam Ashok Gaud, Ravindra Kumar Sir, and all other secretaries here. We are not a mute witness, we are an active witness to your Lordship's career of development from lawyer to the Chief Justice of India. My Lord, we are proud of you. And the other aspects I can say, your Lordships, in Telugu, అందరూ కొందరి చేతే ప్రేమించబడతారు కానీ కొందరు అందరి చేత ప్రేమించబడతారు. All are loved by few, but few are loved by many. That the later category, Honorable Chief Justice of India, Justice Ramana, comes to that category. My lords, when I was in 2003, your Lordship's encouragement to the juniors particularly, I was an young lawyer in 2002. I was working as a public prosecutor for National Investigation Agency. I made a mention in your Lordship's court in the morning, saying that the special court for NIA has liberally granted the bail without consideration of section 43D of UAP Act 1967. My lord, I made a mention, your Lordship gave the permission. I was happy because I was an young advocate. Your Lordship, in fact, was rising from the bench at 1:30. In fact, the lunch motions will be taken at 2:30. But while rising from the bench, your Lordship asked me, Mr. Vishnuvardhan, what is your case? My lord, the file has not come. No, give me your file. My lord, after taking my file, your Lordship granted the stay. How your Lordship reacted to the spontaneous justice from 2002 to 2021, we'll hope will continue. My lords, today I wholeheartedly, under the able and dynamic and great leadership of, my lord, the Honorable, Chairman Bar Council of India, Sri Manan Kumar Mishra ji, and my esteemed members and staff, we wholeheartedly thank for attending this graciously the function of today's felicitation program hosted in favor of Sri Honorable Chief Justice of India. I thank the Honorable Supreme Court Justice, particularly the Honorable Chief Justice of India, Justice NV Ramana sir, Honorable Minister for Law and Justice, Mr. Kiran Rijiju, Honorable Mr. Justice Abdul Nazir, Honorable Mr. Justice Vinit Sharan, Honorable Mr. Justice B.R. Gawai, Honorable Mr. Justice Krishna Murari, Honorable Mr. Justice Hrushikesh Roy, Honorable Mr. Justice Vikram Nath, Honorable Justice M.M. Sundaresh, Honorable Justice P.S. Narsimha, Honorable Justice Sri Ravi Kumar, the Sri Tushar Mehtaji, Solicitor General of India, Honorable P. Wilson, Advocate, Member Parliament, Rajya Sabha, Honorable Mr. K. Ravindra Kumar, Member Parliament, Rajya Sabha, Honorable Mr. Vivek Tanka, Senior Advocate, Member Parliament, Rajya Sabha, and all other the Bar Council Chairmen, Vice Presidents, and also the Presidents of the all various High Court Bar Associations and Secretary. Thank you, sir, for gracing this, the greatest historical occasion. Jai Hind.
Now, national. Honorable the Chief Justice of India, he will present a Saul to Honorable the Law Minister of India and the Solicitor General of India. This is the greatness. Now the bench felicitating the bar. The Honorable CJI is felicitating a member of Bar Council of India, Mr. Tushar Mehtaji. Obliged, my lord. Now, this is the time when we should say that the program has come to an end. I'll request all the honorable guests sitting in the auditorium to take their seat, remain there, and allow the honorable guest, honorable the CGI, to leave the guest. National anthem hai? Before that, we will stand for the national anthem. जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता
पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल जमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जय oh, let run. The honorable representatives, we are to assemble again at 3:30 for our joint meeting. Please take your seat.
Thank you, Professor.
Yes, sir.